All right, what's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? So, we're actually going to do some more biochar today. I did a batch of biochar using to replenish chicken manure. Well, this time I have something different, and I'm going to be making a NPK style active biochar. Most of it's going to be the same way, but I'm going to be using these pellets. And these pellets are organic, natural pellets. They're just regular pellets. And what they are, like I said, all natural, organic. And what they're made up of is everything that you need to feed your plants. It's got every NPK. It's got nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Also has some calcium in it. It also has sulfur, and I'm going to add some other ingredients to it just to make it a well-rounded. But you can't put it, you can, if you wanted to, you can use it just like this, but I didn't do that. What I did was I made it much easier. So what I took and did is I shredded it. And that's what I have in this cup. It's 2 cups here that I'm going to actually add to it. So we're going to add that. We're going to do the normal, do my worm castings. I'm going to do a half a cup of kelp. And then I'm going to put in a cup of crab meal. So, and then it's going to round off with being basically 3 parts biochar. And this biochar is my homemade biochar. So it's got everything. It's got all the different sizes in it. It's got the powder. It's got small. It's got tiny. It's got micro. It's got larger pieces. So you want to, when you're making the biochar, and you are going to use it to make active biochar, you really want to use something that actually has a lot of surface to it. So you want to use it all crushed up. So you're using all different sizes. And in here I have all different sizes. So, and that's what you want to do. You want to use all different sizes. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to actually use 3 parts. All right, so as you see, I got all my ingredients. And I'm just going to put on some gloves because with the biochar, it's a little dry and you do get the dust on your hands. So I don't want them all over my hands. So I'm actually going to put on some gloves. And then that's what we're going to do. So the first thing I'm going to add, I'm going to give it some sugar. I'm also going to add in some, I don't have flour to add into it, but I'm going to use molasses. So I'm going to use dry molasses. All right, so first thing I'm adding is my 2 cups of Nature Safe fertilizer. And I didn't mention it. This fertilizer is, like I said, it's all natural, it's all organic, and it's got meat and bone meal in it. So you have the potassium and you have the phosphorus the nitrogen. So everything is in here, and this mix is going to be a 855. So I'm just going to mix it up really good. And I know the camera wouldn't have picked it up, but you can see the different things, colors. Once I shredded it, you could see the different colors in it of the blood meal, because it also has blood meal in it. That's part of the nitrogen, and another aspect of the nitrogen is feather meal. You could see the green in it. You could see everything in it. The only thing I didn't add, I'm not adding any additional alfalfa meal to it. So it's just quick and simple. So that's all you want to do. You put that in there. I put that in there. And before I forget, like I said, this is 3 parts. So I'm going to add in my 3rd part of biochar. And then I'm adding a 1/2 cup of kelp. And kelp also is like a sugar also. So I just want to mix it up real good. And that's perfect. And I know you're probably wondering, there is one thing that I did leave out of this. I didn't put any rock dust in it. So what I'm adding now is the crab meal. And that's another source of calcium. And that's chitin to your worm castings. If you add it into your worm castings and add it in here, it's going to add more chitin, and we have a whole lot of carbon. So the carbon ratio is very high because we're using biochar. So, but I mean, the smell of this is nice. It's a sweet smell. It smells good. You know, it's got a good smell to it. And then one of the other things we're going to add now is the worm castings. Alright, so that's the worm castings. I'm just going to mix the worm castings up. Get them incorporated really good. And that's what you got. So the one final thing I'm going to add, like I said, we're going to add some sugar. Okay, so the sugar, like I said, I'm going to use some molasses. Not going to go overboard with the molasses. Just going to put in, it's just regular molasses, dried molasses, and I'm just going to add a 1/2 cup of dry molasses. And that's pretty much it. We are going to add some water to this because I want to get this kind of moistened, but I don't want it wet. And that's going to also help all the other ingredients blend together. And you never know. When I turn around and I'm about to use this, I might add some rock dust to it. And this is just water. And what I do is I bubble it and then I just put it in a bottle. And this is what I use for my worms too. And I just wet down my worms, but I'm just going to add some water. To it. And also the biochar was a little dry. Also, so you really, now that you added that water, you really want to mix it really good so that you're not having any dry spots. And you can know how much moisture you want to put in from the feel and how it is. And for me, it's still a little drier than I would like it. And that's the whole thing about biochar. There's no right way, no wrong way to activate it. You can't go wrong any way that you activate it. Oh yeah, that's perfect. I like that. There's not a dry spot. And this you can use on everything. You know, when you do your transplants out into the garden or into your buckets, raised beds, I would just take a handful and I put that in there. And those plants are going to get their first dose of nutrients right at the root. And we're going to test them out. We're going to do a little experiment. I'm going to put, one pepper, one tomato plant into a bucket and into a pot or a bucket. And I'm going to use some of this, which is I'm going to call it the Mad Scientist 855. All right. So, but I'll put each one in and I'll use some of this on a pepper plant or a tomato plant. And then I'll also use the replenish and see what it does. All right, so that was quick and easy. And like I said, the only thing I did not add to this is rock dust. And after I let it ferment for a little bit, I'll put it in a bucket, put a top on it, and come back, check it out in a week or two, see how it's doing. Take a smell of it. Make sure it smells all right. And then at that point, I might just add some rock dust to this. I didn't add any rock dust to this. I did add it to the replenish, and maybe I will wind up adding some to it. But this is what it is. This is what it is. Alright, so once again, this is New Era Gardener. I appreciate you guys stopping by and checking out the video. If you like it, hit a like. If you want to know what else I'm doing with biochar, subscribe and you'll see the next thing that I'm doing with biochar. I do have some liquid ones I need to make up. and we'll go from there. All right? All right, guys. I appreciate it. Take a look at any video you like. Thanks.